that put me out of my comfort zone in a sense, and I thought therefore it would be challenging, and I wanted to do this.
Well, did you prepare for this role, or did you draw upon your experiences as a father for this?
I just did the general preparation that I normally do with every film, which is to question, you know, the lines that somebody, that the character says, or the way he reacts or responds, etc. And then you start building a framework, and then you act within that. So just my regular process of how I prepare for a role is how I prepared.
Last question from me. What was the reason for keeping away for 15 years from Hindi cinema?
Not Hindi. I didn't act in any movie in any language for the last. I think from 2000 was my last film with Mr. Mani Ratnam. After that, I didn't. I'd quit films because I wanted to do other things. I'd started out very early at 20 when I did Talabadi, and 21 when I did Roja. And I thought, I didn't want to get just caught within this one profession. I wanted to experience other things. I had other ideas. I wanted to do other businesses. So I just went ahead and explored all that. And about maybe 3 years back, Mr. Maniratnam had wanted me to come back and do a film called Kadal in Tamil, for which I came back. Till then, I didn't act not just in Hindi but in any other language.
Arvind, there are two questions from me. One is it only a Hindi version or there is a Tamil version also? And number two is, what difference do you find in your two different innings? The earlier innings and the current innings where you are in a different kind of avatar.
The first part, which is it's just a Hindi film, we didn't do it in any other language. There's a lot of change, of course. Time brings about change, including in me. It brings about. It's not about a lot of change in the way the audience in itself. It's the next generation of film goers who are watching it than when they were watching it in the 90s. This audience is more receptive to new ideas. They've already had a lot of visual experiences in terms of the internet, or an exposure to world cinema in a sense. I believe that they're more receptive to new concepts and new ideas, and they don't want the conventional movie structure that we've been having since those days. So,
Hi Arvind, this is Alok on your left. My question, प्लीज आप बैठ जाइए, आप देख नहीं पा रहे हम लोग, सॉरी. सवाल ये है कि are you in touch with your Bollywood colleagues? You have 2 days time, so are you gonna meet anybody in these 48 hours?
did I meet somebody now in the last since I came here? You're saying?
Yeah.
I met Mr. Anupam Kher. We just happened to meet yesterday. But I'm actually a pretty solitary person in that sense that I don't have many friends within or outside the industry. I just keep to myself. So,
Do you watch any Hindi film in last 3, 4, 5 years, or any particular film, any particular actor?
I don't watch too many films in any language, in Tamil, English, or Hindi. But I have watched a few.
So what was the specific reason behind not doing movies in last 10, 12, 15 years?
To me personally, this is not the only thing that I want to do in my life. I want to do other things as well. So I had some ideas on certain businesses, some technology, some applications. So I was doing that in different parts of the world. And then I wanted to be a full-time parent and balance my life and time with my kids. So that happened. So for about 10 years, my primary thing was just to raise my kids. I play a lot of video games online, so a lot of my time goes in that as well. And I also do movies.
So now when you see those shots between two mountains, you are sitting and Roja Janeman and Hamma Hamma and Kuchi Kuchi Ratman, what क्या feel करते हैं? How you feel all those shots while doing on seeing now?
Well, I can still appreciate those shots. That's the good part of doing some films. I think even after 20 years, you can still see and enjoy those films, or at least most parts of it. So, I'm just look back. I'm happy that I did those films.
Hi Arvind, you can answer in Hindi or you want in English?
You're asking me that question in English. So
आप हिंदी में जवाब देंगे?
कोशिश करूँगा.
कोशिश करेंगे. कोई ना कोई तो सॉलिड रीजन रहा होगा फिल्म में वापस आने का या हिंदी फिल्म करने का. तो मैं जानना चाहूँगी कि डियर डैड आपके लिए क्या है और
नहीं, ऐसे तो मैं प्लान नहीं करता हूँ कि मैं हिंदी फिल्म करूँ या तमिल में करूँ. मुझे सिर्फ अगर एक स्क्रिप्ट अच्छा लगता है तो मैं I just accept that. Sorry, that's as much Hindi as I can. I will be sitting here all evening if I keep talking.
okay with it?
So, you know, there was when you watch the film, you'll know that there was something that was pretty complex about the story and the situation that these characters are in. And like I told the gentleman before, I was extremely out of my comfort zone when I read that. To a point where I didn't know whether I wanted to do it. Then it made me realize that because I'm so out of my comfort zone, I need to do it, because I think that is where the challenge for an actor is, to be out of his or her comfort zone. Otherwise, it becomes the easy thing that happens. So right now, like someone said, my second innings, if you can call that, even in Tamil, for example, I'm picking up scripts and roles that are that maybe people don't expect out of me, that maybe I'm not 100% confident that I can do as an actor, and therefore that quest for trying to be convincing in that role makes the whole process for me more interesting.
जी. एक और सवाल था, पिता और बेटे के बीच रिश्ते की बात करती है ये फिल्म. तो आप अपने निजी ज़िंदगी में अपने पिता के साथ किस तरह का रिश्ता रहा है, और कोई ऐसी चीज़ जो आप चेरिश करते हैं और हमसे शेयर कर सकते हैं?
Zarur. My father was very strict with me, in a sense that he was not a very approachable parent like how I think I am with my kids. I mean, with me they can joke and they can talk and all that. And I used to go for every parent teachers association meeting for my kids. But I don't remember my father coming even for one PTA meeting or even stepping inside my school. That generation was like that. It was okay. I think now it's more hands-on parenting. To me, my father was very inspirational. He was also involved during the last part of the freedom struggle. So I had a lot of inspirational stories. He was in Calcutta at that time. And then he's a self-made man. He came from a small village down south. But by the time I was growing up, he was one of the very well-known industrialists then, and he came up the hard way. He worked himself up. Had a lot of. So I was brought up with a lot of love and respect for this country and for the freedom that we all have today, etc. So that was my environment. That environment that I grew up in, and it was thanks to him. With these two primary characters, but it's actually. It's like a journey where this man he knows the direction in which he wants to go. To me is "Tum mere bare mein kya sochte." So that actually is what happens within families, right? If there's something that goes wrong and you want somebody to understand, you're not concerned then about what other people are thinking about you. It's just that you want the people that you are close to understand your situation or your dilemma or your problem or whatever it is. So I think it is that. It's not, it's not a regular father-son kind of a story.
Arvind, hi. Of course, we have seeing you today feels a little nostalgic because we have memories of Bombay and Roja. But of course, here you are with the
People and families in similar situations like how these characters were, and since it put me out of my comfort zone, like I said, it was important for me to do it.
But mainstream, we rarely see stars taking up such challenging roles. So that's why the question comes.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you notice, if you look back, since you said, you were nostalgic, and I need to go back also to those days. None of those films shared a standard commercial format. In fact, somebody asked me today, why are you playing a dad? So I said, in '93, when I was 22 or 23 years old, I did Bombay, where I was a dad of twins. So I never thought of all these things as images or whatever. And as you all know, like Roja and Bombay were hits across the country. After Bombay, my next film was with a director whom I really respected called Baradan in Malayalam. I did a movie called Devaragam. So I've not been somebody who's, thought of what commercial progression for me as an actor would be, etc. It's important for me to have an experience that I treasure, I value, also, and hopefully, take the audience along with me.
अरविंद प्रशांत ईटीवी से
Yes, sir.
जैसा आपने कहा कि मतलब